Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I am a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you are absolutely in love with. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to be sharing all of my favorite vendors and my favorite companies that I use inside of my business to be more efficient, more effective, and to really just have a seamless business process. And I'm excited to share all of these things with you today. Be sure to grab a pen and a piece of paper because you're going to want to write these down. I'm going to share my favorite booking system, my favorite credit card processing, and all of the things that I love inside of what I'm doing day to day. One of the best things I've ever done for my business is connecting with other like-minded entrepreneurs outside of our industry. Last year, I joined Brand Builders Group, and it has truly transformed my business. Brand Builders Group is a personal brand strategy firm for influencers, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs. Their services are designed to help mission-driven messengers clarify their positioning and expand their reach and increase their revenue. There is nothing more powerful than having a dialed-in personal brand. I've gained so much clarity thanks to working with my brand strategist and attending Brand Builders Group events. If you are ready to create an impactful personal brand, check out Brand Builders Group. To learn more, click the link in the show notes. We are going to start off today's episode with my favorite booking system, which is Vagaro. I love Vagaro because it is a very robust system that has so much potential and so much capabilities. I don't even think I'm using it to its full potential, and I love it so much. I love Vagaro because it allows for seamless online booking. They have really great reports, and the price point is phenomenal for what you get. Me and my best friend Shelly, who also owns a salon, did so much research when it came to really trying to find the best booking system for our salons. And her and I have gone back and forth with so many different companies. We've tried so many higher price point companies and, your lower price points like Square. And we always end up going back to Vagaro for what you get and the price point. Nothing compares and nothing even comes close. Another thing I love about Vagaro is the way that you can really custom tailor all of your commissions. You can custom tailor your retail commission. You can custom tailor commission on certain services with certain stylists. You can do a sliding scale if that's something that you're interested in for your business. There really is nothing that this booking system can't do. And I really think that if you are a salon who is growing or you're trying to cut your expenses, because that's the only way we can create more profit in our business is either generate more revenue or cut the expenses we currently have, then Vagaro is definitely something that you should absolutely 100% check out. I really, really back this booking system 100%. It has been our go-to and has been what we primarily have used over the last 13 years. And of course, each booking system is going to have their own hiccups and different things that can happen. But I can honestly say I have not run into a ton of problems with this system at all. I think their support is great, and I highly, highly recommend Vagaro. So even though Vagaro offers credit card processing, it is not what we use inside of our business. We did use it for a short period of time, but I always end up going back to Square. Square is also another company that I've used for pretty much the entire duration of my business and even when I rented a chair. So I've used Square for well over 15 years. Again, not every, system and company is perfect. I have come across some hiccups with Square as well, but I always go back to it because the functionality of it is so simple. And they really do have so many perks and benefits when you are a salon owner. First and foremost, Square allows me to collect my renters' rent for my salon suite automatically. We simply set up an invoice and it will automatically deduct their rent from their card every single week. This is something that I absolutely love. It makes it hands off for me, and it's one step that's automated in my business, which gives me more freedom. Another thing that I really like about Square is that you can negotiate your rate. So they do have I believe their standard rate is 2.75, but once you've established a relationship with them and once you start generating enough revenue that goes through your account, I think every person gets a rep. You can call your rep and you can renegotiate your transaction rate. And I love that it's a simple flat rate. There's no transaction fees. There's no different rates for different things. It's one flat rate, which I absolutely love. And it's something that makes even like my bookkeeping and all those things super simple. I love that there are invoices that we can send to clients for our retainers, for our extension services. I love that it saves payment for the payment information for these invoices. It has a super easy interface, and I love that they offer Square loans. So if you don't know, cash flow is the most important thing in your business. And me personally, and with students that I've worked with, there have been situations where people need to access very quick cash flow, and Square allows you to do that with their Square Capital and their Square loans. And it automatically deducts the payments from your transactions at a certain percentage that you agree on. And it really is a simple way to grow your business. If you are in a bind and you do need cash flow for any certain reason, it's nice to have that option. And the way that they take payment is super easy. And again, hands off for you. It's a small percentage from each transaction. So it automatically pays it back without you even having to do a thing. I think it's a great resource for anyone who's in business. You never know what kind of trouble you might get into. You never know if you get an opportunity to grow or expand your business. You know, maybe you need to do like repairs, or if you want to maybe grow. You never know when you are going to need any sort of financial help, or if you want to utilize this to grow your business in any way. The interest rate is a little bit higher depending on how much you take out. So I would pay attention to that, which I don't even mind with the ease that they actually give you the funds. It automatically gets deposited into your account. And again, it automatically takes payment out from your transactions. I can honestly tell you that it is something that I have had to use, especially during COVID, to really make sure that my business was financially stable. But that is not even the best part about Square. So the reason why I love Square so much is it will automatically allocate your funds and your credit card transactions through the Square savings account. Not only does Square have a high annual percentage yield, which is 1.75, which if you are utilizing a normal savings account like through Chase or through any other bank, usually your annual percentage yield is about 0.01. So to give a percentage and 3/4 that's really, really great. So what I do with the savings account is I allocate my funds. You can set up separate folders in your Square savings account, and you can automatically allocate a certain percentage of your credit card transactions into each folder. So you can categorize the folders so that you can automatically save for things. So how I utilize this is I have a separate savings folder for very important things in my business. So the folders I have for my Square savings are supplies, taxes, rent. I have my payroll for my mandatory paid time off by the state of Illinois. And then I have a general savings account. All of my credit card transactions go through their processing. they will automatically deposit the amount of money I have set for each folder. So for example, I have 10% of my credit card transactions going into my taxes folder. I have a rent folder because my rent is very high. My rent is $8,000 a month. So I have 10% of my credit card transactions going into my rent folder. I think there's like 1% for payroll, which is my paid time off. And I have, general savings, which I think is like 3%. So when my credit card transactions go through, some get deposited into my bank account like normal, and then the other ones get allocated into the separate folders. So it automatically saves for me. So I just set it and forget it. This is why I can't leave Square, because they make it so easy to truly properly plan financially for your business. It's hard for me to go anywhere else. And the way that they have this simplified, like for my taxes, like I don't have to worry about saving for my quarterlies because it's already done. My mandatory paid time off by the state of Illinois, already saved for, don't even have to worry about it. So then when I'm ready to go into deposit this money into my normal checking account when it needs to be used, it's a simple click of a button. And in 1 to 2 business days, it will automatically transfer my savings into my checking so I can utilize it in any way I need. And that is why I love Square. They make it so easy for you to save. So if you are somebody like me, I'm not a natural saver. All of my savings has to be automatic. Otherwise, I would never do it. So my stocks are automatic. My retirement, my 401k, automatic. I have another high yield savings account through American Express, which is like almost 5%. That's automatic. Because if I had to do it myself, it probably would never get done. So I love anything automated. And the fact that Square offers this is a game changer. Another company that I like to use for my business is Monday. Monday is a work management system that allows me to get to delegate and communicate tasks to my team and to keep my business organized with my education, with my content creation. I really, really love Monday so much because, again, it keeps everything nice and organized. And a lot of my people are remote. I have my marketing director who is usually based in Greece. I also have a virtual assistant in the Philippines. So really utilizing this work management platform has been, again, a game changer for how we communicate and how we stay on top of tasks. So if you have not checked out Monday, I highly recommend it. My next favorite resource I use for my business is an app. It's called Band. I use Band for so many things in my business. I use it for my salon communication. I use it for my coaching clients and my coaching group. I also utilize it for my classes whenever I host an extension class. It's almost like the same interface as Facebook, but it's not the same. It has its own app. It allows for easy communication. I can upload PDFs. I can upload events. It really has everything you need in order to have clear communication for your team. And it really is one of those things that I'm so grateful I found. I absolutely 100% love Band and highly recommend it if you're a salon owner and you are struggling with communication and you are still doing in-person meetings that are just based on business things. You need to switch to Band. It's going to make your life so much easier. We do DMs and voice memos. We've got different channels for different things in our business like orders and client communication. So it really allows you to stay organized and it allows everyone to stay on top of what they need to stay on top of communication-wise. The last thing that I love for my business that's kind of techy is Kajabi. I absolutely love Kajabi for so many different reasons. It is a little bit more pricey, but you can literally do everything from this platform. We utilize this platform for our email marketing, for landing pages when it comes to collecting data and information from people who want to enroll in our courses or enroll in coaching. It allows me to host my website for both my coaching company and you can use it for your website for your salon. It has an area where I can have online automated training for my team. So we have our 12-week program for our new stylists on here. We also have a client experience class for our stylists, a training, and then we also utilize it for our online handbook and it has and houses all the information that my salon has and needs to communicate to my team. So we have all of our systems, processes, expectations, all the information that the team needs to know, like, what their commission rate is, what their growth plan is. Everything is housed and they can access it from their phone, from the Kajabi app at any time. So if they have any questions or need any information on something having to do with the salon, all of it is uploaded in a course for the salon so they can access any information they need so that they can stay informed and so that things are easily communicated. It's just honestly one of my favorite things. I also host my podcast off of Kajabi. It's where we house our podcasts. Another thing that I love is that we can use it for forms and different automations. So I really, really love Kajabi so much. It really automates and has simplified so many things for my business. And last but not least, I'm going to share my favorite little secret, my favorite place to order supplies from, which is Marlo Beauty Supply. That's MARLO Beauty Supply. They have the cheapest gloves, the cheapest foils, and a lot of business basics that you need for like a fraction of the cost. Like I think gloves are like $6. I think foils are like $6. And I love all the stuff that I order from there. I highly recommend ordering from Marlo or checking out to see if you can swap things out. Again, we can either cut our expenses or grow our revenue. So starting with where you can cut your expenses is a great place to kind of boost that revenue percentage. And I love Marlo Beauty because they really do have the best deals on business staples, hands down. Okay, so I hope today's episode was beneficial and resourceful for you. I hope that you check out all of these favorites that I use inside of my business. And of course, if you loved today's episode, please be sure to share and to rate and review and subscribe to our podcast. All right, thanks for listening. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevate podcast. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. The Elevate podcast is hosted by me, Patricia Nowakowski, and is produced by Opulent Beauty Pro. To receive my free business guides, visit opulentbeautypro.com/free or click the link in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Pro or at Patricia_Nowakowski_OBS. If you love this show, please consider subscribing and we will see you next week.